a very unusual video that I am going to record. Totally off topic, but not really off topic, because it started out with books. And that is my quilting hobby. I know, something other than books, something other than reading. However, when I was really little, I used to like watching PBS and Eleanor Burns and how she would do a quilt in a day. And then I was talking to my Aunt Cheryl about it, and she says, "Oh, I'll take you to the fabric store and get you fabrics." And then my mother took over and started doing the quilting, but it wasn't the quilting that I had in mind. She did a puff quilt, and I wanted a traditional quilt. So I didn't get into quilting until much later, and I asked my husband if I could buy a sewing machine, and it was quite expensive. Not something that was in the budget, and it was full speed ahead at that point. And thankfully there were some fabric stores where we lived. There was a Michael's, there was a Joanne, so obviously I would go to those places and buy fabric cheaply for practice, because I didn't want to spend a lot of money on something that I was brand new at. And so I got a lot of books. I had read about quilting in fictional books, and then bought and checked out quilting books from the library and started researching and pretty much taught myself. Then we moved, and literally down the road there was a quilt company. There was a store that offered a lot of crafting, but it was not a Michael's or a Joann's. It was a privately owned company. I loved them. They were great. And they served food, so my husband was happy. And the people were just so lovely. So I started teaching myself how to quilt, and then when I found this store, they had classes available. So I took a class and learned some techniques, and then I found a quilt guild, and I joined the quilt guild, and I learned some more techniques. And one of the ladies there, it was so funny, because I think every quilt guild has one of these women where she comes off really harsh, but deep down she really isn't. And my husband's like that. He has that resting you-know-what face, and never smiles and hardly ever laughs, but don't tell anybody he's a teddy bear. So it's funny, because this woman invited a bunch of us women to her home to, I'm trying to think of the name of the pattern. I'll have to look it up and I'll put it here. I want to say grandmother's daughter or something like that, but that would be the granddaughter. And it had strips, 3 strips, I think a 4-patch, and then a solid square for quilting. And she taught us how to take the large yardage, because there was nothing like the fat quarter bundles then. Not yet. They weren't there yet. So the pre-cuts weren't available yet. So we got the required fabric and washed it, ironed it, brought it to her house. She gives us the pattern. She shows us how to lay it out, shows us how to cut it properly, measure and cut, measure twice, measure 3 times, and then cut, and then how to sew it together. And it was wonderful. I loved it, but I mean, I was off and running. You could not slow me down. I was making quilts and wall hangings and little things for everybody. Didn't keep anything for myself, unfortunately. Wait, let me think. Later I did. I actually did make a table runner for myself. And then, I mean, just recently, I say just recently, within the past 5 years, I think my older son, sorry, we had an emergency battery malfunction. So, I made a bunch of quilts, and just recently my older son kind of nudged me and was like, hey mom, where's my quilt at? Sorry. And then Prometheus did the same thing, and I threw one together for him, and it was not good, and I need to make it. He loves it. He doesn't want me to take it apart. He doesn't want me to fix it. I mean, I do have fixed it, but it's too short for him now, and yeah, I need to make him a proper quilt with not rushed. And so I have, thankfully, a very wonderful husband who is very accommodating to my hobby, because it is very expensive. It can be very expensive hobby, and I'm already on my second sewing machine, which is crazy because it was more expensive than the other one. But it has been a very creative outlet, and anybody who enjoys doing things with their hands, making things, whether that's woodworking, you know, like whittling, or making things with clay or pottery, or knitting and crocheting, which I crochet but I don't knit. Gardening even, because that's hands-on too, and you're still creating something even though you're planting seeds and nourishing it and growing. There are so many ways of creating, and that was my outlet, because I don't consider myself artistic or really creative in any way, but I do enjoy choosing fabrics, choosing the patterns, choosing fabrics to go with said pattern, because you can take a pattern and change the fabric and it's a whole new effect. It's amazing. So recently I had ordered, I say recently, it was like 2 years ago, 3. I ordered fabric that I don't normally order from. I normally use Moda. I don't know what it is, just when I started quilting, I was drawn to Moda. And I loved the quality of the fabric, even though it was expensive, more expensive than going to Joann's. And just loved their fabric. So anyway, I was drawn to this other fabric by another manufacturing company, and I had it in the bundle for a while because I was looking for the right pattern to pair it up with. I finally did, and pulled it out, took it all apart, because I'll show a fat quarter bundle, and then you unfold them and you starch them and iron them. Not everybody does, but I prefer to have my fabric laying properly flat before I cut into it. Well, as I'm ironing it, I'm noticing some very bad cuts. Now, manufacturing companies have giant machines cut the fabric. That's not what this looked like. Some of the fabrics, for some of the fat quarters, which is about 18 inches by 22 inches, look like somebody let a 5-year-old with a pair of scissors and then, I mean, I'll try and show some pictures, but I was a little concerned, and it wasn't just 1 or 2, it was a lot of the fabric, and I thought, how is this going to affect the quantity that I have? Because generally fabric, and I know quilters out there know this, if you find a fabric that you like, get it now. because you're probably not going to be able to find it again, or you're going to be paying double on eBay or Etsy or whatever. So I'm thinking I should probably contact customer service for this company. What are the odds that I'm going to get a response? Really, what are the odds? So I was talking to an owner of a quilt shop, and I try to visit her as often as possible, but she's really far away from us. But I love her, I adore her. She's a wonderful woman. And I was telling her the woes of my situation, and she said, "Oh, you should probably contact the company." I thought about that, but I don't know. She's like, "No, do it." And I said, "Okay, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah." So I came home, and I don't know if it was straight away, but I did contact the company, and the customer service asked me some questions, and I explained, and I said, "Let me know if I need to send pictures." I sent a lot of pictures, and they reviewed it, and she contacted me back, and I think there was more questioning. I think there were a few more go-betweens back and forth, and they sent me something. They sent me something, and she did ask, and I said that would be wonderful, and I was thinking like some little trinket, you know. I didn't expect much, or maybe a voucher for something, you know, a pattern or something for a quilt. Really, I wasn't expecting much at all. And this company came through in customer service in spades, in spades. I love this company now, and I have another fat quarter bundle, and I'll include the video of me opening their gift to me here. This is a real reveal. I have not looked in, and I'm super excited. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, what? Is this the new one? Oh my goodness. Riley Blake, thank you so much. Oh my God, thank you. I am so appreciative of this. Thank you so very, very much. I've had this on my wish list when I saw that it was getting ready to come out from Fat Quarters. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is amazing. And what is this? Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, let me see if I can open this up. Hang on. Okay. Oh, goodies. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right. Oh, that's so cute. It's a teacup with flowers. That's adorable. Y'all know I love tea. Very appropriate. I love this little bag. Okay, I'm going to have to read that. Oh, you guys, I'm so choked up. Not even funny. Seam ripper. We need a new seam ripper. Okay, so Prometheus and I were recently at a store, and I was going to buy a seam ripper, but I didn't. And now I'm glad I didn't. That was wonderful. And another rotary cutter. Oh my good. I don't even have this size. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, I need to go email the lady that I've been in contact with and clean my face up now that I've bawled my eyeballs out. Okay. Okay, so I obviously got something in my throat, and I obviously got something in my eyes while I was recording all of that, and I will try not to do that again. But I was so impressed, and I shared that because I used to be in customer service. I know how hard it is, but Riley Blake in spades came through, and I was so impressed because I love Moda. I am a Moda customer, probably for life, unless something really bad happens. I doubt it, but I'm just saying. And so Riley Blake could have lost a customer. I may not have ever bought Riley Blake fabric again because of the situation. Because I may not have trust. Like, if you are buying pre-cuts, you have to trust that they're cut properly. So I probably would have bought yardage by that company, but not the pre-cuts. So all this to say, kudos, Riley Blake, you guys are awesome. And quilters, if you use Riley Blake, let me know. Are they awesome? Leave a comment down below. I have a new company to buy from. Yes, I always had I could always buy from them. Yes, I get it, but I am going to be more diligent and in choosing, say, Lori Holt. I don't know who any of their other designers are. I know more designers with Moda because I've been a customer for so many years. I even commented Moda at one point, telling them that I really like this particular designer. She's not with them anymore. Do you have any other designers or fabric lines that you can recommend that are similar to this designer that's no longer with you? And they responded back and thanked me, etc. They also have a great customer service. And I just have to say, my family is the type of customer that if you have amazing customer service like this, we are going to be loyal to you. That's just how we are. Riley Blake in spades. Mwah, mwah, chef's kiss. And I have a pattern for the fabric that I am going to use, and I already have a pattern picked out for the fabric line that they gave me, and I had it in my cart for fatquartershop.com, and so I was able to remove it, and when I saw the price, my jaw dropped because I was shocked that Riley Blake sent this to me. Shocked. I'm still shocked. I'm like shell shocked in a good way. But anyway, so I have a bunch of quilts. I need to actually quilt them because I pieced them, and then my long arm machine, sewing machine, needs to be serviced, and I don't like doing it on the. I don't like quilting on my my domestic. I like piecing on my domestic. I don't like quilting on my domestic. But I did recently do a wall hanging in a a tumbler, a thimble template, which Prometheus made for me, which was really awesome. And it was the first time I had ever used that pattern, a thimble template and that pattern. And so I will include a picture of it. And it's obviously in honor of the 250th anniversary of the United States of America. And I thought that was timely. It's small enough, I should be able to whip it through on my domestic sewing machine. I have an idea on how I want to quilt it to make it look like it's waving. Anyway, if you stuck around this long, thank you very much. I know it was kind of rambling, kind of all over the place. I've been thinking about how I wanted to do this video. Y'all know I hate scripts, so I wasn't going to write what I was going to say. It was just off the cuff, pure emotion, and authentic. So if you have a hobby that isn't reading books, leave a comment down below and let me know what it is. And thank you very much for taking the time out of your day. And if you're a quilter, leave a comment down below. Let me know which manufacturing company you absolutely love, how long you've been a customer, and who your second bestie is. Anyway, thank you very much for your time. Bye.